Classic here at Waikiki Beach, Hawaii. The surf is 1 to 3 feet and just right for lots of hot longboarding action. The expert panel of judges will be awarding points based on the length of the rides, number of maneuvers performed, and the degree of difficulty of the various tube rides, carving turns, and cutbacks we can expect to see here today. There's over $4,000 of prizes at stake, but the real name of the game is having fun. So stay tuned with us for the first round action in the Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Welcome back to the first annual Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Women have their place in this contest. Top surfers like Rel Sun, Debbie Bowers, Claudia Dismuke, Judy Aipa, and others. The competition is sure to be top-notch. Not only do they surf well, but they have that special feminine grace which adds yet another dimension to this multifaceted event, the upcoming bikini contest. Longboards have been around a long time, but today we have the modern longboards. These modern longboards are highly evolved hydrodynamic surf vehicles. That is to say, the new modern longboards are constructed with a high degree of technology that allows larger boards to perform like shortboards with all the advantages of longboards. What are some of the other maneuvers that makes longboarding unique and especially different from the old longboarding?
Taking off early and arching out of your turn, you've got that grace and soul, you know, and it's an extension of your soul. So you're just kind of surfing and creating your own repertoire, you know, makes it just like surfing should be.
Tell us about how you're doing in the meet.
I got first in my heat, and we'll be having a repecharge heat tomorrow, and then the finals.
Down, like a roundabout, I find you. Spinning round like a wheel on the top. In, out, all around together. Up or down, we laugh until we drop.
Claudia, can you talk about the differences in what the judges are looking for here versus other longboarding meets? It is different, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. This is a modern longboard meet, whereas in a regular longboard meet, they have rides such as a coffin ride, or you do spinners, headstands, whereas in this is more like modern meet, whereas he's trying to promote longboards that are with 3 fins, 4 fins, 2 fins, and so that you can get out there and ride it like a small board, but you're performing on a longboard. He's looking for today is off the lips, good cutbacks, long nose rides, something you would do on a small board, but without the tricks of doing a coffin ride. You're not scoring extra points for doing those type of maneuvers as you would in a regular longboard meet.
Modern longboarding is, of course, a relatively recent phenomenon, and so are these modern boy wonders. But as you can see, their dexterity and aquatic competence belies their age. They are advanced beyond their years. Here in this heat, Joey Valentin, Duke and Aquila Aipa, Kaipo Guerrero, and more.
Aquila, how old are you now?
13 now.
And how long have you been riding your father's big boards?
Well, maybe since I was maybe like 7, 8.
So you've been already out in the water for how many years? Is that 5 years?
Since I was a couple months old, my dad used to take me out on the longboard and he used to hold me up and tandem with me. That's how I learned.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in some of the other contests as you get a little older. You going to be a professional surfer like your dad?
I want to, but just have to keep on trying.
Shoes for my dancing feet, but I still in time with my parts on the street. Times go bad, we need 'em good. Education didn't get me far, so I learned my lesson and all that far. Just the way I like.
That completes the boys' preliminary competition. Stay tuned because we're coming right back with action from the participants at the other end of the age spectrum. The old men of the sea, the senior men's, here at the Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Visitors from all over the world are converging on Waikiki to check out the great beach fun and hot and classic surfing action at the 1983 Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. The expert panel of hand-picked judges have just announced the winners of the women's and boys' divisions. Although this was primarily a Hawaiian meet, some contestants traveled from afar to be part of this historic event. Here's Tetsu Saito of Japan.
Break down the ties that bring us down, and the walls begin to fall. There's no doubt, no, there's confusion for hit and run. You gotta keep a foot in a run and a hide it, 'cause it's gonna get you. You keep a one, a step, a two, step, a quick, step, a big step, 'cause it's gonna get you.
Veteran wave rider Rabbit K. Kai certainly has a good shot at the senior men's crown. That concludes the senior men's division. While the judges are tallying the results, let's talk to men's division contestant Dave Calden and hear what he has to say about longboards. Is there a renaissance going on in longboarding?
Despite Ben, Ben is one of the best longboard makers on the island, I gotta say. He's come out with some real incredible designs and shapes. You know, when I won the California meet, I had a twin fin, and when I took it out in the water, everybody laughed at me. You know, they said, look at this guy, he's taking a twin fin out there, and it's a 9.6, you know. And then he started making a 3-fin longboard, which I did really good on, and now he's into his 4 fins, which are coming out really loose and a lot of maneuvers. Great sport. I really love it. I got mostly into longboarding now because it's easier for getting up on the waves. I get more waves. Shortboarding is more snapping and maneuvering. You have a lot of bottom turns up to the top, snap off the lips, a lot of cutbacks. But with a longboard, you can do exactly the same thing. It's just a little bit mellower. You know, it's not as radical, but in a way of looking at it, it's a different aspect. You know.
Thanks, Dave. The judges, by the way, represent the cream of the crop in their field, with over 100 combined years of worldwide experience at evaluating surfing prowess in all kinds of conditions. Now, here's the score in the senior men's division. Fine feminine form wasn't limited to the water performance of the lady contestants in the Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Many fine figures also graced the shoreside festivities at the bikini contest. You've seen all shapes and sizes of females here today in the bikini contest, a truly cosmopolitan blend of beauty. Now let's move from the land to the water as the men's masters division takes form. Of special note is meet founder and modern longboarding pioneer, the majestic man of the sea they're all talking about, the legendary Ben Aipa.
Traveling down a lonesome road, heading out for the coast, searching for fortune and fame, learning to play the game, hanging on another hope. There's been nothing but going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Everybody's got a feeling. Everybody's got a dream. Sometimes you gotta take a chance on the things that you believe in. Hanging on another hope. This is nothing but going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out of the darkness into the light. Some people know they have a yearning down inside. Gotta be willing to fight for it. Gotta be willing to fight for it. Gotta be willing to try. Going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Yeah, 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 So if you're trying to get a lonesome road, heading out for the coast, searching for fortune and fame, you better learn how to play the game. Hanging on another hope, living out to the going for broke. This time I'm going for broke. Going for broke.
Stay tuned. We're going to return real soon for more of the Ben Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Aloha and welcome back to some more dynamic water action in the Masters Division of the Ben Aipa Modern Longboard Classic. Masters contestants have surely proven themselves in their division. Up next, the cream of the crop, the men's division. Tony Moniz, Buttons, Kalohio Kalani, China Uemura, and others in this highly competitive aspect of the meet. Tony Moniz has traveled the globe as a rookie on the international pro surfing circuit and has even won the Stubbies trials before here at Queens. But all that was on a shortboard, usually less than 6.5 feet long. Let's get his view now on longboards.
Why do you think there's a sudden resurgence in riding longboard?
Because the boards are getting better and lighter, and there's a lot of guys that riding the board so good, it's making the waves look good. That's why everybody else is getting into it. There's a lot of hot older guys that ride longboard, like China Uemura. He's letting everybody see him out there on his longboard.
I know you ride mostly shortboards. Do you think you'll be riding longboards a little bit more often now, since they're getting lighter and you can do much more maneuvers on them?
I like to ride longboards when I get tired of riding my shortboard, just to get off the shortboard and ride a longboard, break the monotony.
Thanks, Tony. People in Hawaii really know how to celebrate a holiday, like Kamehameha Day. They start with a parade with lots of beautiful girls and flowering floats and, of course, a surfing contest to commemorate the origin of longboarding here. And done so well here is the Aipa Modern Longboard Classic, which is one of Hawaii's most colorful surfing events. And now, the results of the Masters and the Men's divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, you've witnessed an historic event in the Renaissance of longboarding. It was a fun, exciting, and successful competition of men and women, young and old, amateur and professional. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you right here next year at Waikiki Beach for another Aipa Modern Longboard Classic.
Surfing also has its craftsmen, men who specialize in the design and construction of surfboards. The surfing style of today is largely determined by the size and shape of the board. Here is craftsman and surfer Ben Aipa, who is highly regarded in the field of surfboard design.
One of the most important things is the blank, and when we get the blank, we check out the rocker, which is the curvature of the blank. Then I work on dimensions that is placed on the blank. Then I do a thing that is called a template. That's an outline of the board. And I trace it. It's like a pattern. Then I look at it. If it's something that I want or if it's not, I start changing dimensions. Then I do the template again, do an outline. And if it's what I want, then the whole process of the shaping starts going down. You cut the outline of the blank first to get the curve that you want. Then you get a planer, a scale planer, and this is done to thin out the blank, thin out the tail to the thickness that you want. Then as the board is being machined, worked on, there's a finer point of shaping where it's done mostly by hand with a shear foam blade and with sandpaper and a sanding block. And this is done by a lot of feel, a lot of eye, a lot of craft type of shaping, which is very important to get what you want. For the ideas that I come across with, basically it comes from an everyday surfer. Like I put a lot of time in the water, and I see kids surfing, and I see how they're riding, and I try to adapt a design for a different type of surfing. So these ideas all come from the surfers themselves. Then when I come back to the shop, to my shaping room, I try to put it down by numbers and put it down into the blank. Long time ago, when people was making surfboards, they had no fins. They were made of wood, and they were very heavy. And it was very difficult to shape, very difficult to ride. And now with the modern type of lightweight foam, it's a little more easier to shape, and the boards are much lighter. Then there's a bunch of multi-fin systems that changes the characteristic of the board for the different type of surf, the different type of surfers, different type of wave conditions all over the world. And I feel this way that although the cost of the surfboards are high, it's still one of the cheapest form of artwork.
My artwork started out when I was extremely young, and It's carried through all my life. And carried it over here in Hawaii when I left Florida, and just one day I told myself I wanted to be an airbrusher, so I'm totally self-taught. Didn't really ever go to anybody to have lessons or anything. I've been airbrushing for about 4 years now consistently. Right from the start I got very busy and it's just kept going all the way through. All this paper taping takes up most of your time. The more paper taping, the more it costs. It's a lot like auto body painting in that you're just masking off all the areas in accordance to what colors they get. Right here I'm taping off these areas that are going to be getting pink and blue and white, and the background will be lavender with black pin lines around each square. Paints are water-based. A lot of people would have to measure it, but I've been doing it so long that my measuring's all by eye. Very important to have smooth, even strokes. Oh, a lot of my work is my own. I try to get them to leave it up to me. It's a lot more fun that way, but I do a lot of custom work. I like trying to get things just the way people ask for it and make them happy.
Very glad to be glassing Ben's boards and being out in the country here on the North Shore. I've been glassing boards for 20 years, and this is the place I want to be. Being in the forefront of the surfboard movement with Ben. He's pushing new shapes, new concepts, and he wants the glassing to be very light and very strong. And to do that, we have to have the most modern materials available, high-tech fiberglass and resin that give us a high strength-to-weight ratio. We keep up on things like popular mechanics, popular science, things they're using in the aerospace industry are being carried over into the surfing format today. And this is allowing people to use smaller surfboards, lighter surfboards, do maneuvers that were heretofore unknown.
As for in the future, for surfboards itself, there is no limitations. The surfboard designs are wide open because what it is, we're actually going forward and we're going in a circle in a sense, where the designs that we're using now is in the future and in the past. What we're doing, we're modifying it a lot compared to before. And what this does, it opens a lot of doors. It'll make surfing even that much more exciting. Now that a lot of people are coming back to surfing, they really can't cut it on a little shortboard. So the modern longboard has been done to make it more easy to come back to because of the lightness, because of the multi-fin systems. Makes the longboard turn much more easier. And this way, a person that comes back, he goes in the water, he comes out, he's smiling because he doesn't have to go through all this aggravation of not paddling and not catching waves. So again, it's another look at it. It's a different aspect, you know, where these guys now coming back, they're going to enjoy surfing more now because of the modern longboards. I've been surfing for quite a while. I started surfing in 1964 at the age of 22, and it's a very late start. But I feel that I'll be going for a long time because, I mean, there's early mornings down at Waikiki Beach. I see people surfing out there that are retired, and I mean, they're beyond the 50s, even beyond the 60s. So I look at myself as I see those guys out there surfing. I'll probably be surfing until, I don't know really when. There's no number, you know. As for me, I think I'll be surfing as long as I can walk to the beach. Again, because for me, it's a lifestyle. And if it's a lifestyle, it's nothing that you really strain on because you enjoy it. And I think I'm going to go on forever.